All right, hey everybody, this is Mr. C of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. Good morning, my middle schoolers and high schoolers. So really 6th grade all the way to 12th grade. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. It is time for your lesson. And now it is time for Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy jingle. So if you know the song, sing along. Here we go. Time for school, time for music, time to learn together, we can do it. Learning is fun with Mr. C. Learning is fun, everybody. Welcome once again. It is time for your lesson. Our piano, we're still going into the piano part, okay? Doing a basic song. Well, basic, I don't know about, actually, there's probably a poor choice of words. Basic song. I think it's pretty much delving into the chords that we've learned, reading music. Okay, middle school, I've been taking the time to making sure that you guys know how to read the notes. Okay, and I didn't come up with this song, but this is a song that I've actually learned when I was taking piano lessons for the very first time. Okay, and this is just one of the songs actually that I got out of a piano method book, and so we're going to learn how to play it today. Okay, and again, this is based on the stuff that I've been teaching you. Definitely when it comes to sight reading, definitely when it comes to the chords, high schoolers. Okay, and I'm going to go over that pretty briefly with middle school as well. Okay, today's hymnal choice is "I Am a Poor Wayfaring Stranger." Let me say that again. It's called "I Am a Poor Wayfaring Stranger." Type in that title with lyrics on the Google search engine, and you shall have the lyrics right away for you. Okay, but before we get into doing that, let's make sure that we are stretched out. Okay, we are nice and limber for singing, so everybody sit up nice and straight. We're going to relax the shoulders. Okay, take a deep breath. Let's start off with a deep breath. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Once again, deep breath in and deep breath out. And now everybody stretch your arms up into the sky as high as you can. Stretch, stretch, stretch. All right. And great. Let them down and everybody start rolling the shoulders back. And breathe as you're doing this, boys and girls. Great. Everybody roll them forward. All right. Now everybody rotate your necks in a circle. Very slowly. Great. Everybody rotate in the other direction. All right, everybody look up. Look all the way down. Look all the way to your right. All the way to your left. And tilt your heads to the right. Tilt your head to the left. And shrug and hold those shoulders. All right, and let them drop once again. Shrug and hold. And let it drop. Good. Now everybody put your hands in front of you like this and start opening and closing your hands. Okay, yeah, we're going to be using these fingers, okay? But as long as we have good technique, of course, should be fine. But this is just a way to get just some movement, especially out of the appendages that we're going to be using, okay? And everybody squeeze and hold. Squeeze, 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 squeeze and hold. And shake it out. Great. Everybody take one more deep breath in. Deep breath out. All right, here we go. Let's get right to it. So the song, the hymnal choice, again, "I Am a Poor Wayfaring Stranger." I have gotten to know this song over the past 2 weekends, 2 Sundays. This song is not something I've done when I was younger for a very long time. I actually, again, heard it for the first time 2 Sundays ago, and I absolutely fell in love with the song. "I Am a Poor Wayfaring Stranger" when you look at the lyrics of that song, it really talks about the trials, not a lot, pretty much the trials, everything that goes on in the world, and the child of God has to go through it until it is time when God calls that person home. And so that is a wonderful reminder of the promises that God has for those who are His chosen, and how it's just and how his promises are just so much better. And you know, we all have to go through these things while we're in this world, okay? But this is such a wonderful, again, wonderful song, powerful song to me, you know. But have those lyrics handy. We're going to sing it together, okay? So I'm going to go over to my piano. Make sure your posture is still good when you're sitting up straight and singing. Okay, posture is everything. Even, you know, even when we're just doing a sing along, we want to sing at our best. So make sure that your posture is good. Okay, so here we go. This is the song "I Am a Poor Wayfaring Stranger." I am a poor wayfaring stranger. I'm traveling through this world of woe. Yet there's no sickness, toil, nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my Father. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I know dark clouds will gather around me. I know my way is rough and steep, but golden fields lie just before me, where God's redeemed shall ever sleep. I'm going home to see my mother and all my loved ones who have gone. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I'm going there to see my Father. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. And that was I Am a Poor Wayfaring Stranger. Give yourselves a nice little round of applause if you were able to follow along with that. Okay. Yeah, such a wonderful song. I am so glad and very blessed to be able to learn the song and sing the song. I mean, I don't know, maybe I just feel some kind of way about it because it's new. It's been new this week, you know, for me to sing it. But you know, it's not a new song, but it's new for me. So yeah, beautiful song. Okay, let's go right to our lesson, everybody. Okay, so right behind me, I'm going to focus my camera a bit. Right behind me, I have the notes to which we are going to play. Okay, so I'm going to kind of get out of, I'm going to stand up and make sure you guys can see everything. I'm going to have to adjust the height a little bit and basically show you the map. Okay, you know, sheet music, the notes. What you see on the sheet music, it's like a musical map. It's a map of what we're going to be doing. It's what we rely on, okay, to see where we're going on our instrument, okay? So this particular song is one of the songs I learned on in a method book. I was learning to play it, okay, and it involves the chords and a lot of the stuff that we've been going over. So when I talk about chords, I'm going to just touch up on that. When I talk about chords, guys, okay, especially for you middle schoolers, okay, because I know you've been working on reading the notes, just being able to know what's there. Now, I've gone through the trouble already of writing the letter names in uppercase, okay? We've been going over reading those notes, okay? High schoolers have a previous lesson on that, but I wanted to kind of cut to the chase when it comes to what the letter names are, okay? First of all, we've learned that bass clef deals with our left hand, okay? So everything that's done in the bass clef, okay, from beginning to end, okay, that is what we're playing in our left hand. Our treble clef is for our right hand, okay? So notice how all the notes, everything that's there, it's pretty much lined up, okay? Our meter is a 3/4 meter, which means it's a waltz tempo, okay? What does that exactly mean? Well, when you have a song that counts to 3 constantly, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you have a waltz tempo feel. You can basically dance the waltz, okay? Actually, I think, actually in the method book where I was learning to play this song, I believe it was called some kind of a waltz as well. I think that's what it was called. So when you hear a waltz tempo, you can basically dance to it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know, you can have that feel when it comes to that. And it is a type of waltz type of song. So, but in any event, we go to our 3/4 meter, which again means 3 beats in every measure. So we have measures done by bar lines, okay, on what we call the grand staff. Why is it a grand staff? Because again, it involves the treble and bass clef being played, your right and your left hand being played at the same time, okay? So in the left hand over here, okay, again, 3 beats in every measure, and the number 4 is telling us that the quarter notes, okay, that's these guys with the note head colored in and the stem, okay, they are worth 1 beat each, okay? To begin with, in the first beat of your left hand, we have what we call a quarter rest. Now in blue, I also wrote it up here, a quarter rest. This is a symbol to tell us that we are going to be resting, or I should say be silent for 1 beat, okay? So I wrote it right there, quarter rest equals 1, meaning 1 beat, okay? Now I just got through saying that our meter tells us that our quarter notes, there's that key word, quarter notes are worth 1 beat each, right? So how do I know, how do we know that this quarter rest is going to be worth 1 beat? It's because it has the same name. What they have in common, the quarter note and the quarter rest, is that they have both the word quarter in it, okay? And well, the only difference is that any note is it's beats of sound. So this is a quarter note is 1 beat of sound. Okay, whenever we see these, we know that we're going to make a sound, different pitches, some type of sound in that kind of rhythm. However, a quarter rest is telling us that we're going to be silent for the span of a beat, for the span of 1 full beat. Okay, so this is 1 silent beat, whereas the quarter notes are 1 sounded beat. Okay, so let's make sure we have that clear. Okay, here's what a quarter note looks like individually, just kind of going over to this third measure of the treble clef spot. Here's what a quarter note looks like, okay, and there's your middle C, okay? But again, that's what they look like individually. What we have here is we have an individual quarter note, but with 2 other quarter notes piled on top of each other. Notice how the stems are connecting to both note heads on the E and on the G. See, I have it E, G, E, and G. So this is your low C and then E and G, all right? What's going to happen over here in this measure is that we're going to be silent for the quarter rest. We're going to go 1. So it's sort of almost like we're whispering it, right? So it's just kind of like a 1. And then you're going to play in the second beat. The second beat, you're going to play low C and then E and G piled on top of each other, meaning you're playing both letters, both notes at the same time. C on the second beat and then E and G at the same time on the third beat, okay? So that it stays true to what the meter is telling us. There are 3 beats in every measure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, okay? So just remember something also about rests in general. This is a quarter rest, and there are many kinds of rests. There are half rests, there are whole rests, eighth rests. Okay, there are different types of rests, okay, that have a symbol of the span of amount of time silent. But just because they're silent doesn't mean they're not a form of rhythm. Okay, again, it's just telling us how long we're going to be silent for. Okay, and in this case, our quarter rest, silent for one full beat, then sounding on the second beat with the C, and then E and G being played at the same time. Now, when you look in the second measure, okay, in the second measure, we have our quarter rest again, in the first beat of this measure, okay. We have our B this time. We're going down a step from here, playing B, okay, as a quarter note, and then F and G right next to each other. You see that? That's why this note head is on this side, while this one is over here. F and G, they can't necessarily go underneath each other like the E and G here, okay, because there's no room. So they put the note head on one side for the F, and then on the right side of that, the G there, okay? So F and G being played at the same time. B, F and G. B first in the second beat, then F and G in the third beat, okay? So 1. So you have the quarter rest, 1, 2, B, and then F and G on beat 3, okay? And then, of course, in the third measure, this last measure of this example, you're doing the same thing in that first measure. Rest, C, and then E and G on the third beat, okay? Now, how does that work? Actually, let me just also point out what we've been learning when it comes to the high schoolers. How does that look familiar? We've been learning chords, and this is, again, and as well as for your middle schoolers to know, okay? We have been learning chords. So basically, our chords, if we were to take C and put it right underneath here, we could pile them on top of each other. We'd have C, E, and G, okay? Except it's being arpeggiated. There's that word, arpeggiated, which means we're playing it separate in rhythm. Instead of all three of them at the same time, we're playing them sort of separately in rhythm. And this is known as our, I'm going to put a Roman numeral. This is our 1 chord. Remember that, high schoolers? Okay, for those of you guys who've been watching from the previous weeks, this is our 1 chord, okay? Our 1 chord, because we're in the key of C, our 1 chord has our C, E, and G there, our Roman numeral 1. Meanwhile, this is our the next measure, our B, F, and G. If we were piling them up on top of each other, it would be our Roman numeral 5, 7 chord. This would be our 5, 7 chord in this scale, okay, in the scale of this song. So we have our 1, 5, 7, and then back to our what? C, E, and G, our 1, Roman numeral 1 chord, okay? So that's how that worked. What these Roman numerals, middle schoolers, are about, okay? What these Roman numerals are about is that they are assigned no matter what scale you're playing a song in. They are assigned to a particular song. So if you were in the key of D, okay, for example, let's say instead of being in the key of C, we're in the key of D, then of course your 1 chord, your 5, 7 chord, and your 1 and your 5, 7 chord would look differently. Okay, instead of it being C, E, G, your 1 chord would be D, F sharp, and A. Okay, and then of course your 5, 7 chord would be your it would be let me think, it would be your E. Okay, it would be A. Sorry, it would be A. Part of it would be A, C sharp, E, F sharp. Okay. No, excuse me, G on top of that. So really, actually, the G would go on the bottom, G, and then you have your E and A, so your B and A. Okay, it would be right there. Okay, so that's how that would go. It would look different. It would definitely look different. So every Roman numeral is attached to a particular chord depending on what key you're in. But for our purposes, we just have to know that C, E, and G, okay, is part of our 1 chord, and our 5, 7, Roman numeral 5, 7 chord are B, F, and G, okay? So let's make sure we got that, okay? And then it goes back to our 1 chord, C, E, G, all right? Let me show you how to play that in the left hand, okay? We're going to go over this little by little. in our left hand. Now, by the way, just so you know, we won't be learning, we may not, I'm just checking the time, we may not even be learning the top part, our right hand part today. We may not be doing that, okay? But we're going to go over this in a span of time. In fact, and as a matter of fact, we only have 3 of the measures. This is only 3 of the measures of the song. There's actually more past the 3rd measure, okay? So there's more to that. But I'm going to show you over the span of weeks how to play the entire song. All right, guys? So just so you know, we're going to take some time with this. But now I'm going to adjust my camera once again so that we can get a good bird's eye view of the piano and what you're doing there. Okay. All right, our good old friend, the piano keyboard. So make sure you're at your piano keyboards or your pianos while we're doing this, so that you guys can see everything that you need to do. All right, and I'm going to show you how our fingers remember our technique. Okay, especially middle schoolers, we haven't done piano in a little while. Make sure that you are sitting up. You're sitting up straight. Okay, you're sitting up straight. And I'm just going to, for our purposes, I'm going to write a C for our middle C so we know where we are. 2 black keys in the center of the keyboard or your piano, and your middle C is right over here, okay? So we're going to, okay, this is how, again, middle C is our best friend in the entire world. This is how we find our way when we're playing the piano. Make sure your backs are straight, your shoulders are relaxed, your feet are flat on the floor, okay? And make sure that when you're placing your fingers on, okay, on the keys, that they're going to be up and even. Fingers curved, okay? Bent, I should say, bent and firm, okay? However, we're going to start with the left hand, okay? We're going to start with the left hand, and we're going to find our low C, okay, which is the next 2 black keys over here. Just like in the middle C, 2 black keys, white key just before it. Here's the next set of 2 black keys, white key just before it. That's our low C, okay? So that's what we have there. What you're going to do is you're going to play your 1 chord, which involves C, E, and G. According to our rhythm, okay, according to the way that our song, we play the C separately from the E and G, okay? But how do we do that? All right, and just so you know, just for our references, I'm going to write E and G. Why not? I have a dry erase marker. It'll erase regardless. Okay, but how do we play that C, E, and G? Okay, how do we play it arpeggiated according to the rhythm? We have a quarter rest before we start. We have a rest that's on beat 1. Okay, in the left hand, and then we have our pinky to go on our low C, our middle finger to go on our E, okay, and then our thumb, okay, first finger to go on G, okay. So it should look like this. And when we play it, we're going to play the C first, and then your E and G at the same, your E and your G at the same time, like that, okay. So the rhythm goes as follows. You have your rest to begin with. You go. Let's actually, just for our purposes, let's say rest, and then C, and then E, G at the same time. Everybody see that? So let's try that again. So it's rest, C, E, G at the same time, okay? Just like that, okay? Now I'm just going to kind of, you know, just so I don't get no more marker on my fingers over here. We know this is C, E, and G. I'm just going to erase that because it's bugging me. Okay, so here we go. I just, and well, it's kind of bugging me because I really want to be able to show you a, you know, I feel like whenever I put marker on there, I'm also neglecting my own technique, you know, my own hand technique. And I want to make sure that I am showing you the proper technique. Again, your wrist is up and even, fingers are firm and bent, okay? So you start with your pinky, C, and then E and G at the same time, okay? That's how we're going to do that. Again, it's E and G being played at the same time, but first is your C and then your E, G. Okay, so let's play that again in rhythm. Everybody have your hand ready, have your left hand ready, and when I count you in, I'm going to count 1, 2, ready. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to go 1, 2, play. Then you're going to go rest, C, E, G, just like that. Okay. Again, it's going to go rest. It's going to go rest, C, E, G, off. Okay. Let's try it, everybody. Here we go. And on my 3 count. 1, 2, and play. And rest, C, E, G, off. Let's try that again, okay? This is going to take time. Like I told you guys, we're not going to get through the entire song and definitely not even the entire first 3 measures of the song. We're not even going to be able to do that, okay? But the point is for you guys to make sure we got everything in detail so that we are playing the as correctly as possible, okay? So here we go again. And this is the nature. This is the nature of playing piano, guys, is perfecting the rhythm, perfecting what notes we're playing, all of that stuff, okay? Once again, let's do it from the beginning, okay? I'm going to count 3. You come in and rest, C, E, G. Let's do that together. Here we go. 1, 2, and play. And rest, C, E, G, off. One more time. 1, 2, and play. And C. So, I messed up. Let me do that again. Rest first. We rest first. Okay, 1, and 2, and go. And rest, C, E, G, off. Okay? Now, in the second measure, okay, we're making sure that we know where our low C is again. 2 black keys, white key before it. If this is low C, right? If this is low C, we're doing our 5/7 chord, in the second measure, where we have a rest again, and then we have our B. We have our B, so I'm going to write it there, just to have our visual reference there. We have our B, and then we have our F, and still G. In other words, when we were playing C and G, right? When we had our thumb, our first finger on G, okay? In the 5/7 chord, G is still G is also the note that they have in common between our 1 chord and our 5/7 chord. They have G as a note that's in common, okay? So if we were on C and E and G before, well, our thumb, we don't need to do anything extra there. We can keep our thumb right where G is. The only difference is we're not playing our 3rd finger on E anymore. We're playing our F, which is right next to it. Okay? Yeah, you hear that, by the way, F and G? When you sound them together, it doesn't sound too good, right? Okay, but when you add that B in the pinky, you're moving over from your pinky over from C to B. When you move that over, you have that, okay, your B first, and then your F and G after that. And it doesn't sound all that great yet either, okay? Maybe not that great. Maybe if you play it at the same time, still, it sounds kind of right? Okay, but the important part is to know that when we start playing the right hand part on that same measure, when you have B, F, and G, okay, you're going to actually hear the difference. It's going to be some added notes there that allows us to actually hear the harmony, the actual good harmony that's going to come from it. Let's put it this way, guys. Certain harmonies like C, E, and G, this was known as consonant. It's known as consonant harmony because it has a open richness to it, okay? But then what we have with B, F, and G, we have a type of harmony that's called dissonant, okay? Dissonant. Say that word, dissonant, okay? So when you have harmonies that are dissonant, it certainly has sort of an unfavorable tone to it. But when you add certain notes to it, okay, then guess what? I just added a D in the right hand just now. Now that harmony sounds a little bit better, all right? Here's the point that I'm trying to make. Okay? Sometimes you need a dissonant sound. Okay? You need a dissonant sound in order to then have a variety where you can add certain notes to it so that it creates a contrast. Okay? Let's put it that way. It creates a contrast in sound so that the harmonies just sound a little bit better, okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes in music, you need a contrast of notes and sounds, okay, in order to make the song more interesting, okay? And that's what dissonant harmonies create. They create a contrast, if you will, all right? Like certain colors, okay? Sometimes red might clash with blue, but depending on right lighting and depending on what you use and how you use those colors, sometimes the contrast could be a very good thing, okay? Sometimes they could just go together very well, even though they're such different colors, okay? That's in an art type of perspective, okay? Well, it's the same thing. Since music is a type of art, this is the same thing. Sometimes you need this and a little bit of this to make it a little different, and then add some of that, add a more favorable pitch to come up with a very contrasting and note harmonies that actually go very well together. They sound well together. By themselves, not so good. When you add this and you add certain things, yeah, it's going to sound very, very nice, okay? So contrast, okay? Very, very good tool to have. So now that I've kind of went off to a different tangent, okay, let's go back to our second measure where we're playing B, F, and G, okay? Not at the same time, but we're playing the B first and then F and G, okay? That's the movement we want to do with our left hand there, except there's a rest first. So you go rest, B first, F, G right after, off, okay? Make sure you release that B, by the way, same as when you did C, E, and G. You release the C and to play the E and G afterwards. So release the B and then F, G afterwards, okay? Now I'm going to erase this because, again, I don't like that. I'm sacrificing my technique. I want to show you technique. My wrist, I tend to get very wary of my wrist. It starts to kind of go down when our wrists are supposed to be up and even. I just want to show you guys the right thing. So here's B, here's our F and our G, and then when we play it again, it's going to go rest, B, F, G, off. Everybody, let's play that together. Here we go on my 3 count. Ready? And 1, 2, and rest first. And rest, B, F, G, off. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, and go. And rest, B, F, G, off. One more time. 1, 2, and play it. And rest, B, F, G, off, okay? That's how we do that, okay? 3 beats per measure so far on the left hand. And then what happens is in the third measure, we're going to go back to the C, E, G, okay? We're going to go back to that. So what I would like you guys to do right now, let me check the time real quick. Okay, so it's about that time, but before we go, what I'd like everybody to do is to go through it, all 3 measures. Our 3 measures is quite simple. It goes from rest, C, E, G, then rest, B, F, G, then rest again, and B, C, E, G, and off. Okay? That's our 3 measures, our first 3 measures of that song in the left hand. Okay? Let me show you that again. So I'm going to count myself in, and you could actually do it with me if you can follow. But I want you guys to observe very carefully what I'm doing first, and then we're going to do it a couple of times together. Okay? So here we go. Here's me one time. I'm going to count myself in with a 3 beat tempo. Here I go. 1 and 2, and here I go. And rest, C, E, G, rest, and B, F, G, rest, and C, E, G, off. Okay, y'all see that? So you see that movement when I go after I play my C and E, G, then while I do that first rest in the next measure, I'm moving my pinky over to B, and then not using my third, but I'm using my second finger, my index, and then my thumb for F and G. So rest, B, F, G. It's this movement from C, E, G, and then move the pinky over, B, F, G. Okay, that's what's going on there. Okay, let's do it together, everybody. Here we go. Let's do it together again on my 3 count. And here we go. 1, 2, let's play it and rest. C, E, G, and rest. Move over and B, F, G, and rest. Move it back and C, E, G, and off. Everybody got that? One last time, guys. One last time. Here we go. And here's the great part. If you don't get it right while we're doing it now, if you're not still quite getting it, that's okay. Just go back to the video. This video is going to be up still. So all you have to do is replay it and practice. Practice and repetition. Here we go, our left hand. First 3 measures on my 3 count. And 1, 2, let's play and rest first. Rest, C, E, G, and rest. Move over the pinky and B, F, G, and move the pinky back. Rest and C, E, G, and off. Okay, so basically, okay, take a look again. We're taking a look at our, okay, what we've played so far in the left hand. In the left hand, we've been playing our rest, C, E, G, rest, and B, F, G, and rest, and C, E, G, what we did in the beginning, and then we're off, okay? That's what we've been doing right there in our left hand, okay? Next week, we'll add the right hand to that, okay? Probably week after that, I'm going to write up the next measures on how that song goes, all right? And we're going to take it steps at a time. We're going to break things up. We've tackled the left hand first. I wanted to do the left hand first so that we know what we're doing right over here foundationally. Basically, everything that's in the left hand, harmony-wise, those chords are meant to support everything that's in the melody in the right hand. This is like a backup, a support for this top part. And everything you're going to see so far, right now it seems very choppy almost, okay? And almost plain. But definitely you'll see how the melody adds to it, adds to the overall sound of the entire song, okay? But it takes us being able to go, to take it in pieces, just take it apart in pieces, some analyzing, if you will, some analyzing, okay, of what our chords are like, where the harmonies are going, all of that, where the melody is going. We take it apart, then we put it all together, all right? And that's basically the process of learning. And then not only that, and then once you have it, doing it in repetition, okay? All right, guys, great job. Give yourselves a nice little round of applause. Great job, everybody, okay? And that's it for today. We are done. We went a little bit over, but that's okay, all right? Let's make sure that you guys are practicing this, okay? Again, go back to the video, okay? Make sure if you haven't done it already, subscribe. I like to remind everybody to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, click the subscribe button, click the notifications bell so that you are aware of the upcoming lessons, and also like and share and just watch and watch it over and over again so that you can get these skills right, okay? And what else can I say? Find out more if you especially for the Academy members. There will be very soon worksheets, okay, regarding this particular lesson, okay? So be on the lookout for that. And I just want to say thank you to all of my friends who have been watching and supporting Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy, in the United States and around the world. Thank you so very much, okay? Places like the Philippines, India, China, Japan, North and South America. We have Sri Lanka, Australia, UK, and many, many other places who actually watch. And I thank you. I thank you so much. I love being here. I love doing what I do and sharing what I know with you guys. So great job again, once again today. And as always, my friends, I wish you happy practicing. Everybody take care. Have yourselves a good one. Bye-bye.